So, every generation of basketball has a face, someone who isn't just the best player, but the one who defines the era. Jordan, Kobe, LeBron, they aren't just hoopers, they were storytellers, leaders, and cultural icons. And now, well, the torch is being passed. But the real question is, who's ready to carry it? Who will become the face of the NBA? And not just by the way they play on the court, but instead it's the charisma, the impact, and how they make us feel every time they play night in and night out. You simply can't fake swag, and that's what makes Anthony Edwards so magnetic to enjoyers of the game. He's not just another young star putting up numbers on a nightly basis. He's a personality, a force, a presence. The kind of player where the second he checks in, the whole arena shifts, and you always feel like something spectacular is gonna happen. Every era of basketball has needed this type of player, as Jordan had the killer instinct, Kobe had relentless fire, LeBron had the king's confidence, and Ant, he brings something different, raw, unfiltered energy that makes the game feel alive. But what makes him so fascinating isn't just the dunks or the highlight reels, it's the way he embraces the moment. Most players shy away from the weighted expectations or just won't live up to them, but Ant, he leans into it. He wants the spotlight, he lives for the pressure, and he carries himself like he already belongs in the same conversation as the all-time greats. That right there is what makes people stop scrolling, stop flipping through the channels, and actually sit there and watch the game. Because with Ant, it's not just about if he'll score, it's about how he'll do it, and how loud he'll let everyone in the world know about it after he's made a big play. This here isn't just performing for the crowd, he's more so inviting us into his world and making us feel a part of the journey. In moments like this, where the game is coming down to the last minute, the Wolves might be up 3, but that doesn't mean let off the gas. Anthony Edwards decides to take matters into his own hands by waving off everyone so he can go operate, and with a slight push off while stopping on a dime, the dagger is delivered for straight cash. When you have to guard Edwards, it's not just the mid-range creation you have to worry about, as he'll get saucy with that handle by using the hezzy retreat dribble into an in and out behind the back to shift Watson, and at this point, he has the perfect angle to head straight to the basket to grab 2 points. He gets to a point where Ant starts to get into his zone, scoring the ball from everywhere on the court, and with his much improved 3-point shooting, he can now use that slashing nature as a threat, forcing defenders to chase him when he initiates an attack, but then with that nasty snatchback, you already know this is pure butter. This here is the difference with Anthony Edwards. Every play feels like something that shakes the arena, but the question is, does charisma alone make you the face of the league? Because there's another star born across the world who's been rewriting basketball history with his brilliance, and trust me, he doesn't need the swagger to prove it, and that is Luka Doncic. There's something almost deceptive about Luka. He doesn't blow by defenders with speed, and he doesn't wow you with absurd bounce. Yet somehow, he always gets to where he wants to go, and once he's there, the defense is already finished. Watching Luka is like watching an artist with the ball. Every dribble, every hesitation, and every step back feels like a part of a bigger design. He's not just reacting to what a defender will do, as he's the one controlling it and bending it to his will. That's exactly why defenders look hopeless, because against Luka, it's not about athleticism, it's simply about problem solving, and he's already solved the problem before you even realize it exists. Such as when he comes off this high screener roll here, the Wolves decide to double Luka far away from the basket, and it looks like the danger for the defense is Rui Hachimura going to the rim. Well, when you're in battle, you must always have a decoy, and before Nasri can figure out the scheme, the pass is already in motion and Finney-Smith is rising up to knock it down. When Luka's on the floor, everyone has to be on their P's and Q's, because if you allow a defender to get even the slightest angle towards the basket, he'll make sure to lead them perfectly with the pass between 2 defenders, and now the squad has scored in a quick manner. This here is what makes him so terrifying for the rest of the league. He doesn't need elite speed or freakish strength. His weapon, well, it's his brain, his vision, and his craft. The game literally goes in slow motion for Luka, and when it slows down, it feels like everyone is just trying to keep up. If it's not his passing, Luka is using his deception and footwork to all out embarrass defenders on the court, and when he's knocking down threes like this, that's when you know he's locked in.
Back 3, it's good! 19 points for Doncic.
That's the genius of Luka Doncic. He makes basketball look effortless, but beneath all of this is his control and IQ that only legends have. But hey, while Luka dissects the game like a chess player, there's another star whose game is built on balance, finesse, and surgical precision. A player who dismantles defenses consistently on a night in, night out basis, and that is Shai Gilgeous Alexander. Shai doesn't need to shout for anyone's attention. He just shows up every night and earns your respect. In a league full of flash, Shai is calm, methodical, and devastatingly efficient. Basically, he's the kind of player where you look up at the scoreboard and suddenly realize he's got 30 on your head. The secret to Shai's game is patience. He doesn't rush, he doesn't force, he simply waits, manipulates, and then strikes. This is why his driving feels polished, his mid-range feels automatic, and that's why defenders, no matter how disciplined, always end up biting for a fake, allowing him to draw a foul. Shai's one of these players that controls the rhythm of the game, and in basketball, rhythm is everything. When you're going against pressure, you have to find the beat to your own drum. So when Shai gets going, it's 1 dribble, 2 dribble, 3 dribble, 4, right into a post up. And once in the post, it's all just smooth. 1 hit to test the waters, 2 to know he can swim, and with a seamless spin-off, he's dropping it in. No matter what defenders do, Shai is always in his own world and couldn't even be bothered by the pressure they provide. He'll welcome it by going right into it, and then to create some distance, he can step back while they fall back, and even though he isn't the scariest shooter, he'll let it fly when he has the space. This poise is what leads to Shai dropping in 30 points a night against any team or defender that stands in front of him. But it's not just scoring, it's the way he leads. He's quiet when he's doing his job, but he does it with absolute certainty. His teammates choose to follow him not because he demands it or that he's overbearing. They follow him because his leadership by example is up there with Hall of Famers. And that kind of leadership is what makes the franchise say, you're the centerpiece and you're gonna lead us to the promised land. Shai basically represents the new breed of a superstar, efficient, controlled, and unstoppable in his own way. I know some people might chalk his game up to foul baiting and not really understand all the skills that go into this art we call basketball, but when you sit there and study the game, you're then amazed at what he provides every single night. Every young guard should want to model their game after Shai, but if you're not a guard, there's someone else who maybe fits your mold and looks like he's playing the game on easy mode. A player whose brilliance doesn't just beat defenders, it simply breaks basketball. And that player is Nikola Jokic. Watching Nikola Jokic is like watching basketball through a cheat code. A 7-footer who passes like a point guard, a center who sees angles that nobody else on the floor can even imagine, and at times, it's like he's not even trying. Every possession with him feels like a puzzle, and somehow he always finds the perfect piece. A no-look pass to the corner, a one-handed dime on the fast break all the way down the court, and a shot that may look awkward, but it drops him because hey, he just has that magic touch. Jokic is living proof that the face of the league doesn't need flash or anything that gets too many highlights. Sometimes it's just about mastery, about showing the world that basketball isn't just about athleticism, moving fast, doing this and that. It can all be about the vision you have, the creativity you have when seeing the play and bending the game into something new. And when you add in the championships, the MVPs, and the dominance, you start to realize Jokic isn't just great, he's inevitable. On possessions like this, everyone would assume the pass is going to Brown on the cut. And honestly, you wouldn't be wrong as a defender to react, as this truly looks like an opening is available. For Jokic, not only will he spot that opening, he'll think 2 steps ahead of the defense just knowing that they will be quick to rotate over, so that's when he decides to send it out to the wing instead for an MPJ 3-pointer. This deception is truly one of Nikola's best aspects of his game, as the defense will try time and time again to force him into tough situations or all out double him to rush him, but Jokic is never sped up or out of place. He's the one that shifts the game in his favor. Such as here when he's operating in the middle of the floor, he spins off to face up against Ben Simmons, and immediately you can see the double forming with Chris Dunn rotating over. Most guys would try to retreat back or hit Russell Westbrook cutting down the middle, but Jokic is always looking into the future, as he knows Brown will be open on the backdoor cut with Harden not paying attention whatsoever, so here comes a no look to finish it off. Yeah, he simply breaks the defense with the passing of the ball, and he does so in the most calm manner. Not only will he make them look clueless when passing, Jokic will also showcase amazing footwork by spinning off defenders to get a bucket. He'll use his bigger size to move defenders inside, and if needed, he can operate out that in-between area to pour in buckets. Jokic just shows us that brilliance can look different, that dominance doesn't have to scream, sometimes it can whisper, and the whole league still has to listen. But if Jokic is quite a genius, then the next player might be his opposite. A young star whose game feels built for the spotlight, a player who doesn't just represent the NBA right now, he represents the future. And that is Victor Wembanyama. How do you even start to describe Wemby? 7'4", but with guard skills. Wingspan that covers the court, yet movement that feels almost unfair to his size. Watching him play is like watching the future of basketball unfold in real time. What makes Wemby different isn't just his height, it's the way he uses it. One possession, he's blocking a shot into the stands. The next, he's handling the ball like a point guard. And then out of nowhere, he's pulling up from 3 over defenders like it's nothing. He truly doesn't fit into any box the league has ever known. He's building his own. And here's the wild part, he's only scratching the surface. Every season and every month, he's adding something new to his game. Whether it's a new counter move, a new angle to attack, a sharper understanding of spacing. And trust me, if this is what Wemby looks like right now, imagine what he'll be in 3 or even 5 years. That right there is the kind of projection that makes the NBA feel like it's his for the taking. Wemby feels like less of a player of today's time and more like a preview of the future. But the question isn't if he'll dominate, it's really all about how soon he will. This here is why I want you all to answer a couple things. Do these players have the chance of being the face of the league, or is there anyone else you would substitute in? Is it the high flyer and Ja Morant? Would it be Jayson Tatum, Giannis Antetokounmpo, or anyone else you have in mind? Let's debate it in the comments about who you think will be the next face of the NBA. If you enjoyed this video and want to help me keep making more, make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and comment who you think is the face of the NBA. As always, I appreciate your support, and I hope you have a blessed day.